Members, now we have to make sure that the meeting starts on time, and we've got a quorum already, so may I now call the meeting to order. Item 1 on the agenda, election of the chairman for the 2014-2015 session. According to 77(6) of the ROP, a member who is the chairman or deputy chairman of a government advisory body in respect of matters which a panel considers to be directly related to the terms of reference of the panel shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel. And ROP 77 states that a member shall not be chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same time. And according to 22F of the House Rules, Appendix IV, I would now like to invite nominations for the chairmanship of this panel. Now, a nomination has to be made verbally by one member, and we need at least one seconder. And the nomination has to be accepted by the member concerned. Mr. Andrew Leung. I nominate Mr. Wong Teng Kwong. Mr. Ma Fong Kwok seconds. So, Mr. Wong Teng Kwong, are you willing to accept the nomination? Yes. Other nominations, please. Mr. Sin Chong Kai. I nominate Mr. Charles Mock. Any seconders? Miss Emily Lau. Mr. Charles Mock, are you willing to accept the nomination? Yes. Any other nominations, please? No? Then members will now vote by secret ballot. So can our staff please give each panel member a ballot paper and a chop. So each candidate will be given a number. Mr. Wong Teng Kwong is number 1, and Mr. Charles Mock is number 2. After you've completed your voting, you do not need to fold the ballot paper. Alright, Ms. Liu, have you got the ballot paper? Is it that all members have got a ballot paper? Alright, so all the ballot papers have been distributed to members. A total of 11 ballot papers have been issued. So, our staff will not collect the ballot papers from members. So please put your ballot paper into the ballot box, and please do not leave your seat until you've put the ballot paper into the box. Two members are late. Sorry, we can no longer distribute ballot papers to members. Mr. Jeffrey Lam? Is it that you can still distribute ballot papers to us because the voting results have not been announced, but I've already declared that no more ballot papers can be issued. Alright, it doesn't matter. Mr. Andrew Leung, Mr. Sin Chong Kai, can you come out here to monitor the or observe the counting of the votes?
收翻11張係啱嘅。今日委員係咪要唱票嘅？
All right, 11 ballot papers have been received. So, do I need to announce or read out the results? Number 1, number 2, number 2, number 1, number 2. Number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1. So I'll declare the results. Mr. Wong Ting Kwong has 8 votes. Mr. Charles Mok 3 votes. So Mr. Wong Ting Kwong is elected chairman of the panel. Congratulations. We'll now proceed to elect the deputy chairman. Mr. Wong Ting Kwong, can you please come up here to chair the meeting? Thank you very much. We now elect the deputy chairman of the CI panel for the 2014-2015 session. We need to have a nomination made verbally, and we need to have at least 1 seconder, and the nomination has to be accepted by the member concerned. Mr. Andrew Leong, I nominate Mr. Vincent Fang. Mr. Ma Fong Kwok seconds. Mr. Vincent Fang, are you willing to accept the nomination? Yes. Any other nominations? Mr. Sin Chung Kai. I nominate Mr. Charles Mok. All right, do we have a seconder? Ms. Emily Lau. Mr. Charles Mok, are you willing to accept the nomination? Yes. Any other nominations? No? Then members will now vote by secret ballot. So our staff will give each member a chop and a ballot paper. According to the House rules, each candidate will be given a candidate number based on the sequence of being nominated. Mr. Vincent Fang is number 1 and Mr. Charles Mok is number 2. So please cast your vote with the chop, and please chop a tick against the number you prefer. And there's no need for you to fold the ballot paper. Our staff will collect the ballot papers from you later. A total of 12 ballot papers have been distributed.
All
right. Voting is closed, and our staff can no longer distribute new ballot papers to latecomers. So our staff will now collect the ballot papers from members.
Okay. 我請兩位提名人
So can I invite Mr. Andrew Leung and Mr. Sin Chung Kai to come out here to observe the counting of the votes.
爭啲白票啊！好收晒票啦嘛。
Have all the ballot papers been collected? All right. Okay, the clerk, please make sure that the number of ballot papers collected is the same as the number of ballot papers distributed. 係，我哋發出12張選票。 We've issued 12 ballot papers and we've collected all the 12 ballot papers. So let's start to count the votes. Number one. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. 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 Right, we've finished counting the votes. We've received 12 ballot papers. Mr. Vincent Fang has got 9 votes. Mr. Charles Mong has got 3 votes. I declare that Mr. Vincent Fang has been elected Deputy Chairman of the panel for the 2014-2015 session. Congratulations. Right, so we'll now move on to agenda item number 2, schedule of meetings for the 2014-2015 session. The third Tuesday of each month, 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. If there is no objection from members, then may I suggest that we stick to this time slot. Thank you. So please refer to the schedule of meetings prepared by the Secretary. And the Secretariat will later on issue a formal schedule of meetings for the 2014-2015 session. Mr. Andrew Leung, there will be a meeting on the 17th of February, and that will be very near to the Lunar New Year. So can we advance the meeting by 1 week to the 10th of February? But we can either advance that meeting or postpone that meeting. So if we want to advance it, then the date should be the 10th of February. If we want to postpone it, then the meeting will take place on the 24th of February. Should we advance the meeting or postpone the meeting? Advance the meeting. All right. So, for the meeting to be held on the 17th of February 2015, it will be advanced to the 10th of February. Agenda item number 3, items to be discussed at the next meeting. Under CB19/1415, we've already issued to members the relevant papers, including the list of outstanding issues.
The administration proposes that in our October meeting we can have two items. Number one, report on the work of the Hong Kong Economic and Trade Offices, the Hong Kong Economic Trade and Cultural Office Taiwan, and the Office of the Government of the Hong Kong SAR in Beijing in 2013 to 2014. And number two, trade relations between Hong Kong and Taiwan. Would you like to propose any other items? Yes, Mr. Andrew Leung. Chairman, a short one. Occupy Central has caused cash flow problems for some SMEs. I'd like to know whether the administration can tell us what they can do to help these SMEs. Okay, other members, if you have no comments, we will also list Mr. Andrew Leung's proposal in our agenda for the October meeting. As for items to be discussed at other panel meetings after October, I will take that up together with the Vice Chairman, Mr. Andrew Leung, and also the CED Bureau. I will hold meetings with them to discuss what we should have on the agenda of meetings from November to July. If members would like to propose any items for discussion, please let us have it before the 13th of this month. Please let the clerk have your comments. Now, if there is nothing else, the meeting is adjourned here. Thank you very much. Thank you.